If you see your chickens doing any of these, I would highly recommend checking this video. Let's start with the first one. The first one being your chickens are scattered across the coop. This is usually just pecking order updates, but if they're trying to fly to the top, there are many reasons for this. Simply, it could be a pecking order change, or it could be something as terrible as an earthquake coming. This has happened in the past, where chickens fly as high as they can ahead of earthquakes. Where then, sometime in the 40s, chickens flew to the roof before magnitude 7.6 earthquake struck the area. While it's not every time you see that happens, could be a possibility. It is rare, but it could happen. It could be small scale like a magnitude 1 or a magnitude 7. Doesn't matter what its strength is. If you see your chicken doing this, there could be disaster like this on the way. Or there could be predators within the chicken yard. And these predators could be something as simple as mice and rats, which we'll talk about later in this video. Sometimes during a big windstorm, your coop door gets shut, and by the time it's closing time for your chickens, they'll be scattered across the yard. But then the wind reopens it for you, and now you have a whole bunch of chickens. That happened to me once, back in 2020, and I had to get them all in by hand. Fortunately, they knew what they were doing, but sometimes if the door is wide open and there's no wind, something more sinister could be going on. For starters, there could be something bad in the coop like a predator, but sometimes there could be something way more sinister happening. Diseases. Usually within the yard, but sometimes these diseases could be in their coop. Chickens do have a general knowledge of how things work, so this could be a possibility. Or it could just be that they don't have time to get in their coop. That's another possibility. Finally, the most sinister one. This is going to start out with predators. And when it starts out as predators, you know there's something bad going on. Chickens roosting in trees, sometimes so high up that it's not accessible without calling the fire department. And I don't know if the fire department will respond to a call for chickens. I mean, it's kind of their natural instinct. Sometimes predators are all over the yard. And this might scare the crap out of the chickens. They're too close to the coop, so they take to the trees. This is a bad idea because of local owls that might come throughout the night. When it all comes down to it, that could be a small thing. Another thing would be diseases. So sometimes there are bad diseases within the yard, especially after storms, and especially after a chicken has destroyed their yard. Storms sometimes cause mud, and within mud there comes diseases. So sometimes with their general understanding of diseases, they take to the trees to keep away from it. Since when there's a lot of mud, there's a lot of disease. And finally, it's very sinister that they could be predicting a landslide. This might be the only really inaccurate way to predict landslides, but sometimes this is the case. So your best bet is to plant camp down near the tree, but sometimes it's their way of telling you, get away from here or you'll be a victim of the slide. Just remember, not everything in this video said is true. While yes, this is valid information, this is not generally true every time something like this happens. So take this video as sort of entertainment and not as informative as other videos. But here's the video I made tonight.